So what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Um, if you could tell by the title, you know why her talking points sound silly to men. Um, I was listening to. This is not a shot at any woman, okay? Like any body in particular. You know what I'm saying? I just used her as a broad statement to the ladies, right? For women, when talking to men. Shout out to BGS. What's up, George? Justin, what's happening? Shout out to BGS for this. Um, uh, Concrete Rose and Sister George, Kendra, O'Shea, and Angry Man. I was listening to all of them today. And some and Stefan did a video on Jay Cutler. Stephon Clinkscales. And if you haven't subscribed to any of those people, subscribe. So I was listening to some of the ladies talk. Rando, what's happening? I was listening to some of the ladies talk and some of the guys' perspective on it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is why the men think, y'all talking points are silly. So let me do it like this. Insurance, right? Insurance. On the sense of, oh man. You know what? I saw Taz handle that. I left it alone. I talked to O'Shea about it. I'm sure. I think he either did something or he's about to do something about it. I left it alone because the other thing about that, I've seen that happen before, and I'm not sure if that's a new video or old video, but that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, we do interface completely differently, but because and when I seen the strippers, those are not strippers. One of those girls is a porn star because of the tattoos on her butt. A porn star has those tattoos, But what's up, MB? Yeah, I get that part, but let me get to this part of saying it like this. It's like insurance. You have to have, if you have good insurance, take car insurance, health insurance, whatever. But I take car insurance in particular. Your insurance has a bunch of things with it. Your gender, your race, your age, your driving record, right? Archer, what's happening? Dizzy, what's happening? Dang. Hey, don't be. Hey, you thought that stripper was gonna let you slide? She got 8-ball corner pocket, and y'all playing 9-ball. She had you, but but the thing about it is, you can't have insurance and say, I got a bunch of speeding tickets and 4 or 5 wrecks, and I don't understand why 5, 6, 7 years later, my insurance is higher than people who haven't had those things. If you really do that, they're gonna look at it, okay, because this accident, that accident, those speeding tickets, that speeding ticket, that probation period where you were supposed to get it together and you didn't. So this is why you're paying this amount of money. You part of the exploration for this one, Kendra. So thank you. Insight and foresight. I was listening. Don't think I wasn't. But it's insurance, right? And this is where BGS comes in. I think yesterday morning, BGS did a video on Insecure. I want to say it was yesterday morning. And what he did was, oh, thank you, kid. Like, what he did was he put how they were talking about Issa Rae and I think Molly. And it was like, Issa Rae was like, she deserves better. Or she got Lawrence, she didn't get the best Lawrence. She got the on the come up Lawrence. And what BGS did was he played some clips of other seasons about what her friends had to say Lawrence was and what she said about Lawrence. And it didn't match. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is why, these talking points, why her talking points sound silly is because she'll forget all the other things that was said, that she said, that her friend said, that she did. This is the same thing I'm talking about, the insurance. What's good, DJ Moss? You forget your driving record all of a sudden. And I should have this and I should have that. Wait. Your driving record said you shouldn't know. Well, today I feel like a better driver. Nobody cares about that. Who are you? You are some of your past decisions and choices. So the things that are said and done to these guys, to us men, it looks silly because y'all act like we don't know y'all driving record. Y'all act like we don't remember y'all the history that goes behind this. So, you know, and I'm gonna fast forward to one of the points that I wanted to talk about later on, but I'm gonna just add this one. You know, why her talking point sounds silly is because I'm 40 now, right? So if I'm talking to women, I knew you at 20, 30, and also 40. So what you talking about now, that wasn't who you was in your 30s. That wasn't who you was in your 20s. You're talking about that now. So your talking point sounds silly because all of a sudden you want to escape the karma of your 20s and 30s when you get in your 40s and your 50s. And it don't work like that. You know, I got you, Jerome. You know, so what do I mean by this? In your 20s, you know, you wanted a certain, you wanted, a lot of you ladies wanted a certain type of man. What's up, Emmanuel? You know, you wanted a certain type of man. Now that's the same type of man in your 30s you complaining about. But you want us to forget that you wanted that in your 20s. Yeah, they only know now. This is, you know, this is part of the problem. Because Kendra, I was listening to you earlier about the insight and foresight. And you know, you sparked my mind on that part. I'm gonna tell you that now. So when you ladies make your talking points, this is what you want now. This is what you want today. This is what you want this year. But here's the problem. The people from your past, even the guys that you want to talk to now who knew you back then, they don't remember the you that just showed up today. They remember you in your 30s and your 20s. And you wanted something completely different in your 30s and your 20s. So how are these guys who are the complete antithesis of what you wanted in your 30s and your 20s, how are they what you want now? Because they're trying to figure out, look, I'm still the same dude. No, you wanted a guy like this. That's what you wanted. Well, I wanted a guy like that, but it didn't work out with me and a guy like that. So, you know, in my 30s, I wanted a different type of guy. And it didn't work out with me and that type of guy. And now I want this type of guy. And the guys are looking at it like, So all of the men that you said, what's up, Dollar Washer? Thanks, fam. So when you were, and this is how I'm gonna bring it home on this part. The man just said the wall changed him. Thanks, Dollar Washer. Portia, what's happening? So this is what this is how I'm gonna say it. You wanted a athletic type of dude. You wanted a street type of dude, right? You wanted older type of dude that was gonna spend on you, right? What's up, John? You know, you wanted that dude in your 20s. That's who you wanted. Charles was popping. So you wanted, you know, the good looking athletic type of dude who had multiple women, right? But you wanted the street dude first. Because you said, you know, stereotypically, he's a protective. Now in your 30s and 40s, you saying black men don't protect us. But wait a minute, you dated the type of guy that you said in your 20s is very protects you, makes you feel protected. That was the argument. That was what was told. That's what you said. That's what you told us. You wanted a certain kind of guy. He makes you feel safe. Okay. So how in your 30s and 40s, now you're unprotected and you were never safe, but you chose to be with this guy that you said made you feel safe. Okay. When you was in your 20s, you know what I'm saying? Harambe, what's happening? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to how the ladies, treat the ladies bad too. Kendall, what's happening? So now you wanted 20s, you wanted maybe 20s to 30s, you wanted the athletic built guy, the attractive guy who all the girls wanted. And then these guys ain't faithful because you wanted the guy that all the girls wanted. So you knew that all the girls wanted him, and you wanted him too. Oh, I ain't arguing either. I feel you on that, dollar. So you wanted him too. So now all of a sudden he's a cheater. So the guy that all the girls wanted is a cheater, but when you met him, you knew all the girls wanted him. And how do I know this? Because, in my 20s and 30s, I know you got a lot of girlfriends. I know you got women. I know you got women. I know you got this. I know you got more and more women, blah, 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 blah. I know you just ain't got one girlfriend. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is what we doing. What's up, Ned? Make sure I ain't stepping on my daggone headphones. So now when you're in your 30s and 40s, now these guys are cheaters. But we like, wait a minute. But these the same guys you said you wanted that had everybody. You wanted the guy that had multiple women because, what's up, Keith? Patrick, what's popping? Illusion fantasy football. You said that guy got a lot of women and he was good in bed because he got a lot of women. So you was there for the sex. You knew he was good at sex because he had women that validate he was good at sex. You got with him too. Now all of a sudden he wasn't faithful to you, but you got with him because he was a buck. You got with him because he was a mandingo. But now all of a sudden, now you in your 30s and 40s. What's up, Tony? Now you're in your 30s and your 40s, and you like, I was never with a man who was faithful to me. You never tried. You weren't actually looking to be in a relationship with the guy that would be faithful to you. You was looking to be with the guy who could, make you come the best. It was a come competition. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. I feel you. That is, they won't admit their choices were based on obsession with good. I mean, that's the thing. What's up, Kyle? So I'm sitting there looking like, okay, so you don't know why these guys are looking at y'all like, your argument is silly? Because I know you. I know you. And then, uh-oh. I see you on that one, Patrick. So now, I feel you. They got to save face. But this is the thing. See, what the men are basically paying attention to is your dating choices are coming home to roost. So we hear your talking points, but we know they're silly because these are your dating choices that came home to roost. But you're not going to say, I did this, I did that. But we know you did this, and we know you did that. We don't have, I don't, what I'm saying? I'm not saying somebody personally, but the women I know their dating history. I know what they was looking for. I know when they was looking for, just sex in a main sex partner. I know they wasn't looking for relationships like that. But now they looking for relationships with, you might be a day late and a dollar short. Now, let me go to this part. Because they was talking about the sisterhood, right? And basically, how the sisterhood is toxic. And, when the sisterhood says what the men are doing, but the sisterhood is doing the very same thing to the women, but they're saying the men are doing it. So they're projecting onto the guys. But here's the thing about why I say, why personally I'm looking at it like these arguments, the talking points is silly. Because to be with you want these women to be on a woman's team and be opposition to the men and still want and still expect the men to want you back. You want to actually put out that you're competing with the men, you're his opposition, you want to act like you're his enemy, by being his opposition, but somehow you're going to think he's going to love you. And here's the thing. But if the women were oppositional to the women, and they were competing with the women, they wouldn't get along. So you want something from the men that you wouldn't be able to do with your own group. What's up, Edward? My bad, LaShawn, what's happening? He said, "Ma'am, you not." Gregory, what's going on? So I'm sitting here like, okay. I know, Gregory, it's off the chain to me. So now you got the sisterhood, the men are toxic. Now here's the problem with that. The men are toxic. But if the men were better men, it'll make the women better. That's why it's a silly talking point. Because if I'm toxic and I'm a man, that means you're saying you're not toxic and you're a woman. So if I became not toxic, then you all of a sudden will become not toxic. But the guys don't work like that. If you toxic, I'm gonna get away from you. Problem solved. So you asking these guys, you know what I'm saying? Player May, what's happening? So you asking these guys to be something to make you better. And Kendra talked about that before. You know what I'm saying? Like so the sisterhood wants the men to be better so that the women could be better. And then what? Then the sisterhood will be better? Because if it's a sisterhood and the men are, not up to par, then and you need those not up to par men to be up to par to make you up to par, then that means you're not up to par. So when are you gonna admit that I'm not up to par right now? Because what these guys are saying is when you meet the guys who are up to par and who are above and beyond, above average and above what you need, and above what you ask for, you can't handle it. So this is why the talking point is silly, because when you go around and you say, okay, I need a man 6 feet tall. You get with a man 6 feet tall. You can't, something about it, you can't keep him. I need a man who makes 6 figures. Now you meet a man who makes 6 figures. You can't work with him. You need a man who's faithful. Oh, you got a man who's faithful. Now you can't work with him. See, now we have a problem. And the problem ain't the men, because you got what you asked for. Because a lot of times, this is the problem with the talking point. A lot of you ladies got the man that you asked for. You just didn't get him in the year that you wanted. See, you met him in your 20s. You just didn't want him then. Like the whole thing when they were talking about Gabrielle Union and Aisha Curry. If she would have followed Gabrielle Union's advice, for one, she wouldn't be married to Steph Curry. For two, she probably wouldn't be married to an NBA basketball player, because she'd be the chick that got passed around. See, Gabrielle Union was a movie star that got passed around. It's a difference. She was a movie star who got passed around. She wasn't a girl. She wasn't gonna look back as I'm trying to be an actress and I'm screwing this ball player and that ball player and that actor and that rapper and that businessman. Now you just a pass around thought. That's what that is. It definitely was trash, Jacqueline. What's happening? Paul, man, what's happening? So this is why we think the talking points are silly, because you think it's gonna work for you. Aisha Curry, she can go be a thought now. See how it work out for her. It's not gonna work out too well. And then people gonna be like, you left Steph Curry for this, you're gonna wind up just like Amber Rose. But we're not supposed to say that. Now, why am I talking about this? Because one of the other points is the black men failed people, right? Black men failed the black woman. So I've heard this talking point by different women. I watch my grandmother work and I watch my mother work. So, so you feel like you shouldn't have to work, or a black man should make it so that you don't have to work because you watched your grandmother work and you watched your mama work, or you heard about your great grandmama working, or heard about your grandmama working. So you need to find a black man who makes sure you don't have to work. And Jamal, what's happening? So you do like the guys don't go around saying, I watched my mama work. I watched my grandmama work. I watched my father work. I watched my granddad work. And because of that, I feel like I should not have to work anymore. Shouldn't have to work. No, because I watched them work. Do you know how lazy? Like that's the guys kind of like, you're lazy. You're lazy and entitled. This is why the guys say the women are entitled, because you didn't even do the working, but you should not have to work because you watch somebody else do the work. And you don't think that sounds silly. You know what I'm saying? I watched my lawns, I watched the landscapers. I watched, matter of fact, I watched my dad cut the grass. So I should never have to cut grass a day in my life. And I shouldn't have to pay to get it cut because I watched my dad cut the grass. Like, Bishop, what's happening? This is where we at. JJ, what's going on? Now, on the flip side, the guys will say, I watched, I'm just using the stereotypes or whatever. The guys will say, I watched my mama work and I got to a position so I make sure my mother never have to work again. So he watched his mother work. He wanted to do something to make sure his mother doesn't have to work anymore. That's admirable. You get what I'm saying? That's very admirable. But here's the thing. You don't even hear men say this. Men don't even say this about other men, even though they might do this for their fathers. I'm going to make sure my father don't have to work again. They don't even say that. Demetrius, thank you, fam. That's the thing, Portia. That's the point. That's exactly the point. Tony, what's happening? Stay out of jail. He watched his, right. He watched his mama struggle. So, and I was listening to a sister talk about, her family situation. I'm not going to say it, but one of the things she said was she watched her grandmother work, but and her grandfather died before the grandmother, but the grandmother watched the kids at home and was a nanny, but she was living in a 4-story house. And I'm thinking to myself, so you watched her work in a 4-story house, and even as an adult, you don't realize being a nanny ain't gonna pay for a 4-story house. Your granddad, whatever he was doing, paid for a 4-story house. I'm just saying. Justin, thanks, fam. Is it? Oh. Oh man. Right. Damn. So my dog doesn't feel. Oh, it's that. Oh, hold up. So this is why the talking point is silly, because now all of a sudden, you don't have to do anything, and this spills over into, the he who finds a wife finds a good thing. This spills over into the entitlement and the feminist ideology, because you have groups of women who basically say they're not going to do anything. And then they're saying, they're not being treated properly. So you expect, because you watch your grandmother work, your mother work, that, and this is the selfishness of it. Tony, man, thanks. And just bear with me. MB, hold up. Thank you, fam. This is the selfishness of it. And this is why, the guys are looking at the women like you're out your minds. So you're a woman, ooh, 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 ooh. All right, all right. So you're a woman, and you said, I watch my mama work and my grandmama work. So I feel like I shouldn't have to work like they had to work. I shouldn't have to work like that. So somebody else has a son, and you think you should meet another man should make sure you don't have to work. So what encompasses you not working is you're not gonna do nothing for him either. See, your grandmama and your mama actually did stuff for their husband. You don't have to work outside the home, and you don't want to work inside the home. So now you want this guy that you don't know that he watched his mama work and his grandmama work. And if he can, he's going to make sure his mama doesn't have to work anymore. But he's also supposed to make sure you don't have to work anymore. But along the way, you still feel like you don't have to work. So exactly what are you going to be there? So what exactly are you bringing to his life? And you never take into consideration, he never wanted his life to be, let me get my mama straight for life and get you straight for life and everybody straight for life. But I can't get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich out this mouth. And thus the it used to be the old argument. Grinch, what's up? You used to be the old argument. Let me get comfortable first. So you want this guy because you watched your mama and your grandmama work, and now he watched his mama and his grandmama work. He gonna take care of his mama, maybe his grandmama. Jerk, what's happening? And then take care of you. And you gonna take care of you so long you get comfortable enough to realize, man, I need to do something for this man. So you don't think that sounds silly? Fred, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Oh man. You right, Bishop. You right. I'm just putting it out there. Because this is what goes on that people like to act like doesn't exist. So this is the other problem. You're also the same group that said your mamas and your grandmamas told you to go to school so you didn't have to depend on no man. So now you watched your mama work, you watch your grandmama work. They told you to go to school so you don't have to depend on a man. And because you watched them work, now you went to school so you didn't have to depend on a man. But now you want to meet a man that's going to make sure you don't have to work because you watched them work. And they told you don't depend on no man. Like, this is how contradictory these conversations wind up being. Hey, what's happening? And you want to forget you were talking like this in your 20s. And then when the student loan started kicking your ass in your 30s, now it's different. And when nobody believed you in your 30s and now you're in your 40s, the men failed. So, and the men didn't take care of the women. And here's the irony about this. The men, the silliness of it, the men failed the women. But you're telling me that women, and we're in 2020. So, okay, now you can go for me, you can go from the 80s, 80s up with some of these people and their failures. But for the most part, the 80s back. When y'all talk about grandparents, your grandparents is at least 50 something to 60. So just for reference, if you grew up in a house and somebody, with somebody that was at least 60 years old, and they was married, because the vast majority of people was married up until the 70s. I hate to break the news to you. It was the 80s when the shotgun marriage thing really stopped. It was in the 80s. Okay? In the early 80s, that's when that stopped. When you got somebody pregnant, you know, they used to kick the girls out of school. That was still in the 80s. You get what I'm saying? So these houses a lot of y'all grew up in, it wasn't your grandmama's house. It wasn't. You know, cocaine was a hell of a drug. So the men failed you in a house that you grew up in that a man paid for. But that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? BK, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I understand. You know, yesterday was a completely different topic. So, you know, something sparked me. I just said, forget it. You know what I'm saying? I just had to say it. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Wow. Even the bishop say, uh-oh. Do it for yeah. Do it for your pop. Do it for your abuela. What's up, Devin? So this is a problem. Now the other thing about this is, I don't understand. You know, why your talking point seems silly, because Angry Man spoke on something earlier today. You're hijacking the men's history. I suffered just like you. No, you didn't. And I spoke about this recently. You know, your talking point sounds silly when you know, if you know you're not treated with the same type of vitriol as black men. You know it. But you want to make these arguments in these cases that we were there together getting the same treatment at the same time. No. See, if you want to use television references of, you know, we were in slavery together and we got whipped the same way you did. Go look at all these slavery movies and see how many women got whipped like the men. Go back as far as you can, even before Roots. Go to Mandingo and all that other stuff. Go ahead. You're not going to see women getting boiled alive. You're not going to see women getting eaten by a pack of dogs alive. You're not going to see women, you know, getting hung upside down and their genitals cut off out and just bleeding out. You're not going to see that. That's not what you're going to see. What's happening, Scoop? What's happening? You know, that's not what you're going to see. You're not going to see, oh, we got whipped. When you look at all the pictures of, and I'm just going back to slavery, and I'm going to move forward, though. When you look at all the pictures of slavery, you don't see pictures of women with their backs with all, you know, with all those keloids on them from lashes. That's not what you see. You know what I'm saying? What's up, CEO? Well, I'm glad you didn't, Bishop. But I think, but you know, it's another thing I'm gonna go back to when I'm done with this point, because I got to go back to that. Is women of, you know what? I'm gonna go back to that now. Women of the older generations don't see history the same as women in their 60s, 70s, 80s, sometimes 50s, do not see the history that they lived in. They don't even see eye to eye with the women in their 40s, 30s, and 20s. Like, what are y'all talking about? You were oppressed. No, I wasn't. No, that wasn't how it was. Yes, it was, because I learned in class. What? I lived it. You didn't live it. Honey, what's going on? Their favorite thing to do is yeah, that's a problem, honey. Mars, what's going on? Tied face down and whipped and left the bacon and something. Like, yeah, man. Oh, hold up. God dog it. Travarius, man, thank you, man. You know, everybody's screwed. Yeah, Era, you ain't lying. You ain't lying about that. Sam, what's going on? You know, that's the problem. These, like, the older women are like, you know, you didn't cook for no man because he was oppressive to you. They're like, huh? See, the older women had it. These older women had it better than these younger women. Oh, what? I wasn't supposed to say that? I wasn't supposed to say that, huh? Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Yo, Dad, I'm doing a podcast. Let me call you right back when I'm done. So, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just not going to let, you know. But this is the issue. Because, see, I got, well, they dead now. My grandmothers, great grandmothers, great aunts, they have a whole different, they have a whole different mindset and mentality. And even some of them was younger and off the chain back then. I was off the chain. I understand. You know, but let me put this in perspective for the ladies who, the women had a shorter time to be off the chain back in the day. They did. You know, the wall we talking about at 30, that was the old school. If you ain't got your shit together by 30, you're over. That was the old school thing, you know, because you too old to be stupid, you know. But women were getting beat up, and women, yeah, they were women off the chain that got beat up by other women too. Oh, we forgot that part. See, all these women weren't getting abused and beat by men. These women were getting they lunch handed to them by other women for being out of pocket. See, when y'all want to talk about the history of women, you never listen to by the time I get to Phoenix, huh? You listen to Commodores? You ever listen to Sail On? Sail on down the line about a half a mile or so, and you never heard those songs, have you? You never listened to the Meaning of Footsteps in the Dark, you know, by the Isley Brothers. Justin, thanks, fam. You never listened to the things these guys was talking about, did you? You never listened to the blues, did you? You never listened to those things. Hold up, man, my bad. Thanks, Justin. You never listened to those things. Yeah, osmosis struggle. That's a problem. You know, you never took into consideration that the women of that time knew, okay, if you do dirt, you get dirt. That goes for a man or a woman. That's it. It's no, you know, oh, she's a woman. Oh my God. That's why I said, you know, a long time ago, my grandmother put it in perspective. She liked Maury Povich. What's up, John? Yeah, everybody get older, but don't become mature. Tanqueray, what's popping, man? My bad. I did them Ugandan beats. Hey, I ain't mad on them Afro beats. They got some jams. But, you know, it comes to a point where it's like, okay, when my grandmother said we would tell, you know, in my generation, we had to tell guys the baby was his, and they had to believe us. They had to believe them legally, but they didn't believe all them kids was theirs. You know, that could be the milkman, baby. That could be the milk. You think these guys didn't know this stuff? See, you only got a half history that you want to listen. Like he said, an osmosis struggle by osmosis. That ain't real, because the older women I knew that in my family, and older women I knew from back in the day, they don't like this quote unquote feminist ideology. They don't like the women like that. Even when they older women and they leave older women alone who on shenanigans. They're like, yeah, no, I ain't hanging out with her. You know, Tanqueray, man, thank you, fam. Chief, what's up? I seen you today on Instagram. You know, what's happening? Or was it yesterday? You know, TD Hutch, what's up? They don't like them. You know, when I see the arguments of us women never had to, we could never be feminine. What? So let me get this right. So now you 40, 50 years old talking about black women have never been feminine. Never. So you never seen Dorothy Dandridge, you never seen the Supremes, you never seen Josephine Baker, You never seen, Eartha Kitt. You never seen was the sister that was in Star Trek. You never seen all of the old. Nina Simone obviously wasn't feminine, even though she was talking about hard topics. All these women who were black women were never feminine. They were never dainty. You know what I'm saying? They never. Just you can't be feminine. Because last time I checked, if you go backwards in time, you see more and more feminine black women. That's what I see. Matter of fact, even when Whitney Houston was in the 80s, that was feminine. She was feminine in the mud. Dainty in the mud. When Mariah Carey first came out. Y'all forget when Kenya Moore was the finest thing smoking in the 90s? She was hella feminine. Oh, you forgot about that. I don't know why y'all think all black women was Jada Pinkett and Shane. What is it? Low Down Dirty Shane. All black women was not tomboys. Like, Shane. No, because remember the girlfriend and Shane was feminine in the mud. Coming to America, feminine in the mud. The Last Dragon, feminine in the mud. Like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? Thank you. I ain't know her name. Thank you. At this point, but see, even with you, honey, that's why the guys, Sally Richardson, yes, thank you. When the women say I've never been taken care of, that's what do you mean? What do you mean? Because men have talked to women, and when they say they've never been taken care of, you know what it sounds. You know what they're saying to guys for the most part. I never had a guy pay all of my bills and all of my luxuries and all of my leisure, and me just do nothing for the whole time I'm with him. That's what they're saying. That's what it comes. I need a man who takes care of everything outside the house and everything inside the house and everything on vacation and everything on dates. That's what they say to guys. And what I meant earlier when I was talking about why it sounds silly is because when women in their 20s saying that, they forget that. When they get in their 30s, they forgot that's how they was talking. I don't know how. Diane Carroll, yeah. They forgot. I don't know how that happened. Ebon, what's happening? They forget that all of a sudden. Then they get in their 30s. I've never been taken care of. But see, this is why the guys think it's silly. Because, and let me get back to hijacking men's history real quick. When they were talking about the osmosis struggle. So you want the osmosis struggle from women back in the past that you said you had to watch them work. So you got they struggle because you watched it. Now what the men went through, what's up, Rex? Now what the men went through, all of a sudden you went through it too because you felt it. That's like when I was a kid, that's like me getting a whipping. And one of my brothers said, when you got a whipping, we got a whipping, because I felt it. He said, he whipped the shit out of you. And I felt it deep in my heart. I felt it so much. I was there. You was like, no, daddy. I felt it. I felt every lash. You're like, if you don't shut your dumb ass up. You know what I'm saying? You want to hijack everything. If it happened to me, it happened to you too. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do? Okay. But here's the irony of it. If I went go buy some wings tonight, you ain't gonna feel full when I eat them joints in front of you, are you? If I turn around and sitting there, got me a little 10-piece, why you can't get no wings? You don't need to get no wings. You could feel how satisfying these wings are. You felt it. See, you felt it. Oh, is that lemon pepper? God damn. Oh man, I don't know what kind of is that sea salt? Himalayan? What is it? kind of pepper is on these fries? You felt that food. Didn't you feel that food? You about to feel it. Look, I'm about to wash this down with a Sprite. You gonna feel this. Watch this. Watch that. You felt that? You felt? Did it obey your thirst too? Like, it's stupid. You know, what's that? Travari, American Deli. So, yeah. Ooh. Meal preppers. I ain't mad at you. You know, I ain't mad. Like, this is where we at. I felt it. What you feel? What you feel, player? You know, that don't make no sense. So, you know, this is one of the problems. You know, let's tell, and I trust me, I ain't done yet with the truth. But see, that's the thing. Like, here's why. Okay, and I'm glad you said that, Jacqueline. Here's the thing that the ladies never ask, and I know it's for a particular reason. So, do you hear the men talking about all the women that took care of them in their life? Seriously, do you hear? And I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about your mama, your grandmama, and your aunt. I'm talking about, you know, because a lot of sisters swear they be holding guys down. You don't hear these guys talking about all the women that held them down in their life. And I don't mean held them down in a negative way, like all the women that had their back. How many, these guys can't say, this woman took care of me. This woman took care of me, man. This woman took care. Like, guys don't have a list of years where women took care of them. And this is what I mean by it sounds silly, because if a woman hears this, you a man, you supposed to take care of yourself. See. So you're not. So it goes back into that you're not supposed to do anything for a man. You're right. These men are supposed to do all this stuff for you, but you're not supposed to do nothing for him because he's a man. And then you complain that you got left for another woman or you got cheated on. How, Sway? If because these guys don't say how many women really, you know, man, you know, when I was going through it, she had my back. Because even, you know, and I'm gonna say this way. The NFL draft just happened. And you see the girlfriends there. And it ain't just the girlfriend that was white with the mother. You see all the girlfriends in general there dressed up for the occasion, because, you know, I was there for him when he was in college. You know what I'm saying? Garcelle, thank you. You know, hold up. God dog it. You know, what Rex said, I missed it. Thank you. Thank you, Irina. Thank you. So when they say, you know, Sister George, what's happening? You part of the inspiration for this too. You know, so when you see these situations, you're hearing these women say things like, I was there for him. Like with the chick from the City Girls. If he don't get drafted, drop him. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all, okay, let's just use these guys as an example as far as just men in general. When this guy was lifting weights every day, you wasn't there then, right? When this guy, you know, had injuries that he had to play through, you wasn't there. When this guy was running mile after mile, you wasn't there. When this guy was at practice in the morning, school in the afternoon, morning and afternoon, back to practice in the afternoon, you wasn't there. See, you was there in the stands with everybody else. Everybody in the stands don't work out with the team. Nobody in the stands works out with the team, really. You wasn't there when it was time to watch film. You wasn't there. And matter of fact, if you could have been there, but he couldn't talk to you. He was watching film. Oh, but you say, well, I did his homework a couple of times. Okay. You was there, you did his homework a couple of times. So that equals everything, right? Yeah, Ward, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So, but this is the thing that makes these the talking points sound silly, because you keep saying that some of y'all say that y'all be there for these guys. Y'all don't know what is. Y'all don't even know the effort it takes. And the reason why I say that is going back to the work thing, right? When I hear some of the ladies say stuff like, "We work," the women back in the day worked. My grandmama worked. My mama worked. Let me ask you a question. I can tell you right now, your grandmama didn't work like your grandfather. Your mama didn't work like your daddy. You women nowadays don't work like these men. And they're like, what are you talking about? So, how many women you see paving and building roads? How many you see building skyscrapers, or building buildings, building homes? How many you see in HVAC? How many you see in the military on the front lines getting shot at? See, people keep thinking I was in the military too. You was in the barracks. You was at the base. Don't act like, I was out in duty. No. You was called to pick somebody up who was in duty, in active duty. Stop playing with me right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic. How many of y'all climbing? Because I went jogging this morning, and for anybody who knows, they treat the wood to put up the new poles, because all the poles in your neighborhood ain't old. They bring new ones every now and then. I was gonna say, who is buying? Yeah, who exactly, bitch? Who buying the construction gear? Who doing that? How many women you seen on a Zamboni? You know what I'm saying? Seriously. How many women you seen on a street sweeper? How many women you see with the garbage detail? Think about this now. Because, a lot of sisters, a lot of women in general work in air-conditioned, comfortable environments. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There are men who work there too. How many women you seeing on these oil rigs? How many women are you seeing on farms like that? Seriously. You know what I'm saying? So this, we work hard too. You ain't doing that shit. You're not. You're not. And even when it comes to stuff like that, when I watch stuff like entertainment, there could be a lot of women just as successful. I'm gonna use Beyonce as an example. There could be a lot of female entertainers who is just as successful as Beyonce, but you know why they're not? Because they don't work. They don't have a work ethic like Beyonce. And that's a comfortable, controlled environment. What do they say about most female entertainers? It takes too much money. They want to get their hair done, their nails done. They want to go shopping. You know why these guys popping out album after album after album? Because they ain't finna do all that. They don't need, I need to get a fade and some new sneakers and a new chain and some Gucci shoes, and a Louis Vuitton shirt. Now I'm ready to record. No. He said, glad I got the camera on. No. I'm making crazy faces. It ain't all good. It ain't all good. Cool out. But this is part of the issue. These guys don't believe your talking points, because actually when it's time to put in the work, like these guys, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. It's always going to be something. This is why the guys say, when they had the talking points about the ladies doing things like, it's always a man's fault. I couldn't do this because of a man. A man broke my heart. A man used me. A man played me. A man manipulated me. A man sold me a dream. Do you realize how many men have gotten that from women and still handle their business? You know how many men, basically all men been played by women. Pretty much all men been cheated on by women. All men been used by women. All men been manipulated by women. But somehow they still can go to work and get it done. Just somehow. I don't know. I don't understand that. Guys could be married and their wife could be cheating, And here's the crazy part. It's a known she was cheating with the pool boy. Do you know how that sounds? Because women cheat down. See, this is what we don't want to talk about. This is why we think the arguments are silly. Women have a hard time cheating up, they cheat down. So, and why am I saying this? Because, for one, let's talk about game real quick. Game in our community, and not just in our community, in America right now, game, the way it's being used and taught, it lets you know, it lets you know how you're gonna get women is by being a fuckboy. You need to have the uniform on of a fuckboy because that's what women are attracted to. That's what it's about. And like, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. See, you ladies want these guys who are attractive fuckboys. Yeah. See, you don't want a guy who's debonair, who's seasoned, who's a gentleman. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. You know what I'm saying? He's a dirty Rodney. You know, cheat on a doctor with a pill popper. I'm telling you, because and I've made this point before. Let me explain to you why I say this. And this is why, the talking points sound silly. Women who emulate men, you know who they emulate? Fuck boys. Because they're women and they know what women are. It's a lot of female homosexuals. That should say something. When women date women, I'm tired of these men, they're no good. They date a woman, they date a female homosexual, a female fuckboy. She just can't quite get it together, but she trying to be fly. She look cute. That's because that's what y'all want. But then we trying to say, yo, that's not true. When these guys are using game, and it's gonna sound so messed up. These black men want you so bad, they trying to emulate being a fuckboy because they know that's what you want, even when they not a fuckboy. That's why all these guys with tattoos and all you women with tattoos, it don't look right on all y'all because that ain't y'all. That's why all these outfits you wearing and this look you trying to pull off, it don't really work for you all the way because that's not who you are. That's not who you are. What's up, Jalen? That's just not who you are. It's just not you. But to get a girl, I gotta be this kind of dude. And then the women say, you don't have to be a guy like that. Yeah, you do. For your ass, you do. Why? I'm a good woman. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Emerson was popping. Like, no, you're not. See, you can't be a good woman. You can't be a bad girl in your 20s and all of a sudden be a good woman in your 30s. Just like that. I made a choice. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You ran out of options. There's a difference. This is why the guys think these talking points are silly. Because what happened is you ran the gamut of all the things you wanted. But everything you wanted ain't necessarily everything you needed. So now you ran out of all your wants. And now you're trying to look for now you're looking for what you need, but what you need don't want you now. And what you need don't need you because you don't know how to be what you need to the people that you need. Bishop, I felt like I was preaching right there. So this is why the talking point sounds silly because you want a good man, but you don't know what a good man needs because you were never attracted to a good man. Even if he fit your bill. If he was 6 feet tall, if he was attractive, if he was in shape, if he made over $100,000, but he didn't have that street umph to him. Matter of fact, let me double back. Edward talked about working class men being hated on, and the sisters didn't understand it. And I understand why they didn't understand it. Because when you was in your 20s, you hated guys that was working class. See, y'all forget when you ladies, I want a baller, I want a boss, I want a doctor, I want a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? You work. Well, I ain't doing that. See, you girls, when y'all in y'all 20s, Y'all go to I don't want you. I don't want a guy like that. And it's your mamas and your aunties and your older sisters and your father and your uncles and your brother say, man, you need to get with a guy like that. And then when you hit your 30s, that them same girls with that hood rat mentality, he got benefits, girl. He could put you on his health insurance and his dental insurance, and he got a 401k. That's who you need to be with. But he remembered that you didn't talk to him. See, you women say, I like a guy in the uniform. You like the uniform looks sexy on him, but you don't like the guy who goes to work in that uniform every day because you think you need a better guy. Thank you, Pete. Like Lawrence was a prime example. Take you a long. Say it again, Tony. His ankle was too skinny. I had to leave. Somebody skipped that. Yeah, man. Yeah. I skipped that right class too. I ain't gonna front. No. Here's the crazy thing about it, Portia. Surat, what's going on? When the guy like, and this goes for sisters in particular. And I've said this numerous times. Sisters, for some odd reason, say the guy that when they're attracted to a guy, because they're attracted to that guy, they think his sex is the best. Now, most women understand this, and most grown men understand this too. When you turn on a woman mentally, she's turned on. So a lot of times, these guys who they're attracted to, the sex ain't really what's up per se, because they mentally with this guy. When they get with these thugs, they mentally there already. When they get with these ballers, they mentally there already, because they're turning themselves on with the lifestyle. That's what they turn on. James, what's popping? The lifestyle turns the fantasy lifestyle turns them on. So now they don't want to say they got their heart broken from a fantasy. I thought this guy was going. I knew this guy was like this, but I figured he was going to turn into this because in my mind I wanted him to. So now he failed me because he didn't turn into what I wanted him to turn into in my mind. Tyrone, what's popping? Oh, Shaylanis, what's going on, brother? Meridian, what's happening? So when these guys don't turn into your fantasy guy, now you mad at these guys. Why? Like, why? You want the dope boy to be Jesus Christ. I don't know why he never turned into Jesus. He couldn't walk on water. He caught 30 years. Like, that's stupid. Oh, he about to do it. Hold up. Now they chasing truck drivers. Right. Because now they got benefits. Erica, you off the chain. Hold up. Once you decide to, right. And that's crazy. And Erica, what's up? Hold up. But Erica, he a married man. You see that? You want to be a side piece. You are no good, Erica. Because if Jason Momoa can't cheat on you with his wife, see what I'm saying? Wrong. Shame on you. Shame on you. Enjoy your walk. Enjoy your walk. I was jogging this morning. I'm tired right now. I got to cook after this. But this is where we tripping. Like, the truth needs to be attractive. And this is part of what I'm talking about right now, is like the talking point sounds silly because when people tell you the truth, it has to be attractive. When I was listening to on Angry Man page, when he was doing a thing about the women on Fox Soul, and I talked about the women, when they say, he's, what, I would listen to a man if it was a man that I respected, that I was dating, or that was my man. See, here's the problem. If somebody's giving you good advice or good counsel or wise counsel, You look silly when you say you're not going to accept it because either you don't like them, you say you don't respect them, you might not even know him. You know what I'm saying? Or you're not with him. He not dating you. He not your man. But you go to work and follow advice. So let me get this right. So when you at work, you know, somebody at work can tell you how to do a job better and more efficiently, but I can't take your advice because you're not my man and I don't like you and I don't respect you. Like, Like if you get pulled over, you know, by the police, you're going too fast. I can't take your advice, officer, because I just don't respect you as an officer, and I don't, you know, and I'm not dating you, so I'm gonna keep going 20 miles over the speed limit just because I don't. You can't tell me nothing. Excuse me? Oh, okay. All right, no problem. Take this ticket with you. Your insurance about to go up. I don't understand why my insurance got high. Because you don't want to listen. Y'all why? Because you don't respect that man. You know, you wasn't dating that cop that told you to slow down. So you kept driving fast and you got a speeding ticket. What's the problem? It's just silly. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, there was losers, but this is part of the reason why I'm making this thing, because these talking points seem silly to me when, you know, like with those ladies in general, everything is a man's fault, even when it's a woman's fault, right? I don't understand that. Those women had dated multiple successful men, multiple millionaires, and they're not with anybody, but it's the men's fault. The men have been failing these women, but they forgot they got caught cheating on people. They forgot they dumped people. They forgot that they play people. They forgot that their reputation precedes them. They forgot all of that, right? They forgot I was just gonna disrespect this person, like talking out the side of your neck. You know, yeah. Oh, oh man, say it again, Bishop. Say it again. I mean, because this is a problem. Like, okay, I'm gonna calm down for a second. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get out of here, right? Why the talking point sounds silly is because when we talk about double standards and hypocrisy, when you double down on your double standard and hypocrisy, you got to double down on the consequences with it. So if I got a double standard, I'm a man, I can do this, and you're a woman, you can't. If there are consequences to that double standard, I got to eat that. So what the ladies seem to be doing is when they have a double standard or hypocrisy, now I want you need to eat that because you're a man. It's my double standard, it's my hypocrisy. I double down on it, but you need to be responsible for the consequences. It's like, no. And then they're like, what do you mean no? Because here's the irony. You got women in high places who have been helped by men who say men didn't do anything for them. You got women in high places who men have still, even in different industries, still had their backs. They didn't, but men didn't do nothing for them. You got men who warn women, don't do this because this, that, and the third could happen. And they didn't listen, and they got jammed up. And they say men are not going to protect you. See, the arguments and the points become silly because these men can't save you from you. See, if you're doing something that somebody warned you not to do and you do it anyway, if I told you the stove is hot and I showed you the stove is hot, and then I walk off and you cut the stove on yourself and you put your hand on it and you burn yourself, and then you turn to me and say, you never protected me. No, you're stupid. That's what that is. You were walked into all the ramifications of this, and you did it anyway. You're stupid. Mark, what's going on? Truth, what's happening? When the lady says these guys don't provide, when you ladies keep talking about all the things men have gotten you for free, see, it sounds silly when you say these guys are not providing for you, but in your 20s to your 30s, 20s, 30s, and maybe even 40s, you've dated numerous men who've done numerous different things for you. But you're saying one guy didn't provide for you. But 35 filled the bill on 35 different things. So what you did was you subsidized and you outsourced a husband with every guy you was dating, and those guys collectively provided for you. But all of a sudden, you didn't have the one dude to do it. But you didn't want the one dude to do it. You wanted multiple dudes to do multiple different things. So guess what? Your argument sounds silly because you don't want to say, yeah, one dude didn't provide for me, but these 35 I was dealing with, they gave me stuff from time to time, and I don't even want to, that was individual incidents. It was all a gift. Let me tell you something. If you get 100 gifts in a year, and a year is 365 days, you got provided for. If you want to take these guys' individuals' gifts as not getting provided for, well, okay, give all the gifts back and see what you wind up having. No, you know what I'm saying? So this is where it goes. But even with, even with a person like Lisa Ray, she says she got done dirty, which I can understand. But she forgets how she's done other people dirty. Like that don't make no sense. Rollo, what's happening? She forgets how she's done other people dirty. And this is the why the talking point sounds silly, because the guys remember these people doing other people dirty. These guys remember being done dirty by certain type of females. And just like the women say these guys ain't ish, we know an ain't ish woman when we see one too. And we can tell, oh, now you wanna be a wife. Oh, now you haven't found a good man yet, but you never tried to date a good man. Remember? Because y'all forgot Vivica Fox was, if I'm not mistaken, Vivica Fox left her husband for 50 Cent. She was either still married or going through a divorce or fresh out of it. It was something like that. Because remember, she was married to a rapper before 50 Cent. People forget that. Claudia Jordan. She was known to be passed around the industry. She was dating multiple different dudes. She got multiple different positions. If I ain't mistaken, isn't Claudia Jordan the one that Tom Joyner was cheating on his wife with? But it's the men that fail. It's stupid, man. Oh, man. Say it again, Roger. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm talking about, classy young man. People forget stuff like that. And this is why the talking points sound silly, because now we're in an era where I'm not going to let you forget. Like when a guy say these dudes ain't, all these guys are drug dealers, like, the BMF. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are drug dealers like that. Well, how many mamas was Freaknik chicks? Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. Black Bike Week, we're not supposed to talk about that. Kappa Beach Party, we're not supposed to talk about that. No, her father was a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Her father was, you got to remember, Lisa Ray's last name is actually McCoy. She's actually a descendant of the black dude that made the lubricant for the railroad for the locomotives. That's why they call it the real McCoy. The phrase "the real McCoy" came from that. You know what I'm saying? From that dude. She's a descendant of that dude. So, because her and the Brett cousins, if I'm cousins or sister, something like that. Thank you, Elijah McCoy. Thank you, Ms. Muhammad. So it's one of those situations where, I ain't even gonna get in that. I'm just not. Like, because that's the type of person that's on the panel saying black men failed them when her life was already set up before she was born by a black man. This is why the argument sounds silly. This is why the arguments sound silly. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. This is why it sounds silly to the guys. It's like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm glad you said that, Jessica. But here's the problem. Okay. Beauty is a capital, is a form of capital for women. Now, when you waste your beauty, and when your beauty fades, and then you learn to have character and integrity, that means you were wasting your. That's like me being rich and effing off all of my money, and then wind up with absolutely nothing at the end of the day. And now I know how to handle business. Nobody's going to take me seriously. You know what I'm saying? It's like the millionaires who win the lotto, and when they go broke, nobody takes them seriously because they're thinking to themselves, you wasted all of that money. Fitness Mom, what's happening? Dapper, what's going on? Tiff. You know, yeah, beautiful. No. Beautiful women, but most women don't have problems with protection. The women that have problems with protection are women who are overly aggressive and adversarial in opposition. See, when we talk about, this is what I mean by, the talking point sounds silly. You can't go places being a complete jerk to people and talking about, I'm not protected. No, you're not protected because you don't need to be protected. You need your ass whipped. That's the thing. Don't go around causing issues and then say you need protection. You remember when the white dude pulled the gun out on the sister? I think it was a buster move, but she was completely out of pocket. She wanted to fight a guy in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. when she was riding down the wrong side of the street. We're not protected. That's not who you should be riding for to say you're not protected. Because I guarantee you, if you was riding home and somebody was riding on the wrong side of the street, that could be a head-on collision that could kill you. And if you cuss that person out or you get into a fight with that person, they say, I'm not protected. Come on now. You shouldn't be protected. You should get your ass whipped. You should get your ass whipped. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, I'm going to say this. A lot of you ladies who wind up being mothers, what winds up happening is you realize something. If you have a daughter, because when things happen, they say, what if you have a daughter? What if you have a daughter? What if you have a daughter? This is what you tell these guys all the time. If you had a girl, you would understand. I buy man, it was happening. But see, here's the thing that you don't say. What if you had a son? See, this is why the talking point sounds silly. Because what you want if you have a son, do you actually want your son to put up with this behavior? I just want to know, like, if you have a son, do you actually want your son to grow up and be a man and he needs to take care of a woman because she saw her mom and her grandmama work? Even though your son watched you work. Your son should do that for her. Not do that for his mama and do that for you. Even though he don't even know if you earned it or not. The mama don't even know if you earned it or not. That's one thing. You know what I'm saying? Second, Aisha, what's happening? You think if it was your son, you think he should put up with a woman with a bad attitude? Because, she feels oppressed and offended. So he should put up with her bad attitude because she feels oppressed and offended. Because his mama black. And that's what you should raise your son to be able to put up with that and deal with that because your mama black. No. And Jessica, you're making my point right now. You're making my point. This is what I mean by this makes the argument stupid. Other races receive protection from their men regardless of what level they fall on the beauty scale. The black community provides protection to the highest on that scale. Other communities don't. Okay, let me ask you: do the trailer park trash get protection even if they fine? No, they don't. Do the feminists get protection even though they're fine? No, they don't. Do the women who want to be because they are strippers and bad girls in every community. These women don't get protection. Think about that. They don't get protection. You know, this is why women get this is why there's certain things called a pimp, because he has to be the protection of a rogue girl. And I don't want a pimp to do it. Why? Because he gonna take advantage of you? Yeah. Yeah. That's what you chose. I don't understand. Like, you know, you don't need like, okay, who needs okay, let me ask this. Who needs since all these women need protection, what happens when you ladies put these guys in harm's way because you need protection? See, this is the problem. When y'all ask for protection, y'all putting these guys in harm's way because you're out of pocket. So who's protecting him from you? You know, she might not have been Demetrius. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I've encountered plenty of women in my life who say they wanted protection, but they always was starting some stuff. Who's gonna protect? You know, if you like drama, who's protecting the people around you? You know what? I'm gonna tell you one of the dopest, coldest scenes. I'm gonna get out of here, KT. I'm gonna get out in a second. When ladies say, you know, we need protection, watch the Batman with Bane in it, the one with Bane, and Catwoman is in that. And if y'all remember, there's a scene where Catwoman walked into a bar. Big Poke Dog, thanks, fam. Catwoman walked into a bar to make a deal because she broke into Bruce Wayne's house to steal his fingerprints, right? She broke into that bar, and then the police raided the bar, and she burst out crying. Oh my God. And then she walked her ass right out of the bar. She was the criminal that they should have been looking for, but all she had to do, and why I say watch that scene is because that's what protection, that's the type of protection that some of these ladies, too many of these ladies want. They want that. You know, they want to be protected when they're doing dirt. It's not what's up. Phineas, thanks, fam. That's the problem. That's not protection. You know what I'm saying? Understand protection and enabling are two different things. You know what I'm saying? You remember that on Young Jay. Y'all don't want a lot of y'all are saying y'all want one thing when it's another. You know. Thanks, Dollar Washer. That's wait a minute. KT, that's the $1 million question. You know, what they need protection from differs, because some ladies say they need protection from white supremacy, but at the same time, they you know, and I'm gonna go too far when I say this, but if you got a swirler and but she wants protection, or a woman who wants to swirl and wants protection, that sounds weird to us. You know what I'm saying? She wants to be with white folks, but she wants black men to protect her. That sounds weird for us. You know, if you want a woman who wants to be with women, but she wants men to protect her, that sounds weird to us. And the reason I brought up the swirler, because I remember, you know, when the girl who swirls got mad at guys for not protecting her. You know what I'm saying? Until you marry to a family, exactly. But this is where we at. I gotta eat. I gotta eat tonight. I ain't cook. I ain't eat all day. But thanks, Bishop. You know, this is why fathers tell their daughters. This is why fathers want to meet their daughters' boyfriends and maybe potential suitors. Same thing with mothers, right? See, this is like, let me say this, and this way I'm gonna finish. You ladies say you don't find good men, but I know, and you know, that your family tells you which man is a good man. You don't want that man. Graham, what's happening? You know, your family told you that guy's good for you. That guy's a good look. That's who you should be with. That's the man that you should pick and settle down with. They've told you this on numerous occasions. But that's not who you wanted. So because now you're saying you didn't want these men, they're no good men. But what about the men that your family told you to holler at that were good for you? Even if when he's not so good and you're not so good, but they know y'all can work together. Y'all are suitable for each other. Your family told you that. But when you say they ain't got no good, we can't find no good men, you lying. You're absolutely lying, because your mama told you this guy was a good guy. Your sister told you this guy was a good guy. Your aunt told you this guy was a good guy. You know, man, appreciate you, Jermaine. You know, thanks. I say Lonnie said if simps always get, yeah, that too. You know, everybody else is off the radar. That's a problem. Now, the crazy part about it, they all told y'all who the good guy was, or the guy that was good for you. But now you can't find no good men. Here's the problem with that. So what you're saying is everybody around you, because this is like, we forget, and when BGS was talking about, as I brought him up earlier, about the insecure thing, we tell men, look at your 5 friends gonna tell you a lot about you. But we don't issue that same idea to women. Your 5 friends should tell you a lot about you. See, guys automatically look at your friends too, like, okay, these are your friends, this is how you get down. This, all my friends is hoes, but I'm the good girl, I just like hanging out with them. No, that's not real. You know, this idea that half of your friends are feminists, but you could be a good woman and a guy, that's not, though your 5 friends say otherwise. Your 5 friends say otherwise. You know, like the 80s. Oh no, it wasn't the 80s, KT. Because in the 80s is when it started disintegrating. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know, this is where we at. You know, there's still good people in the 80s. Don't get me wrong. There's some solid folks in the 80s. But that, I'm just saying, that's when it started disintegrating. You know what I'm saying? And this is what, this is why I say what I'm saying, using an insecure reference. Even your girlfriends who ain't shit could tell you if a guy's good for you. But if you don't listen to your family, and you don't listen to your closest friends, and you don't listen to your coworkers, and then you say they ain't no good men. No, the problem ain't who they chose. The problem is who you like, who you chose. That's what happens. But let me get up out of here. Man, thank y'all for rocking with me. I'm off tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we're going to go live. We're going to have some fun. But I got to go. I'm hungry than a mother. Burns. So, wait, who's Burns? Oh, you talking about Vern. Okay. They don't have to, that's your trip. It's a trip. Appreciate it, Max. Peace, Ron. Jessica, come back tomorrow. I got something for you. Yeah, just messing with you.